One of the questions I get asked all the time is how long did it take me to go from $35 an hour to $350 an hour as a freelance writer? And before I answer, I just want to remind people that everybody's freelance journey is going to look different. Everybody has different skill sets, comes in at a different experience level. And so my journey is my journey, and your journey is going to be different than that. In my spare time, I also help other freelance writers get started, and I do a little bit of coaching here and there, not a ton, but I do have a little bit of a sample size to understand how quickly people are able to raise their rates in this current market. So for me personally, I say that it took me about 3 to 4 years to really start to see those increases in my rates. I initially started around $25, $35 an hour and then jumped pretty quickly to $100 an hour within like 3 or 4 years. It took me about 5 years to go from $25 an hour to $350 an hour. And that's also because I was only freelancing as a side hustle and part-time for about 3-4 years. And I only went full-time freelance until at the beginning of 2020. Now, with that said, the students that I have in my coaching program, they are blowing past my records in terms of they are starting to freelance and they are getting $100 an hour. And so everybody's journey does look different. And there's also more of a market demand now because a lot more companies are comfortable with remote work. When I started, people were less comfortable with remote work and barely knew how to use Skype. And so things are a little bit different. Another thing to keep in mind is that inflation has gone up. So as a freelancer, you need to make sure that your rates reflect inflation, the rising costs of goods and housing and things like that. As a freelancer, you do take on more costs than an employee, but at the same time, you have more free time and people are willing to pay more for your time because you are highly skilled talent on demand. In my profile, I have an hourly rate calculator as well as some other things to help you along your freelance journey. And so let me know if you have any other questions.